All right, I truly believe George Edwards was a real good, solid coach for this team. I know the linebacker room been very suspect. We've been having issues with linebackers as it relates to players getting any type of field time or play time, like the Jabril Cox of the world. And, of course, Devin Harper, he got hurt, and it's hard to really see or evaluate the linebackers because Parsons was snatched out of that room and forced to play defensive edge. So it's weird. George Edwards, they will allow his contract to expire, and he will be on the streets, and the Cowboys will be looking for a linebackers coach. You know, that's just how the cycling of the coaches go in the National Football League. And not just him. Skip Peete will be gone. The running back room haven't been the same since Gary Brown left, right? And may he rest in peace. I just truly believe that this team collectively, when you start shaking the tree with the coaching situation and scenario, I'm quite sure if Dan Quinn is given an opportunity, he may pick up the phone and call those boys because, you know, they on the street, they're looking for jobs. And I think that Dan Quinn, by him having multiple second interviews now, is sooner or later, he will be gone. That's just how it is. You would not be going to multiple job interviews as it relates to second interviews if you are not thinking about leaving. So Dan Quinn going to be gone. George Edwards gone. Skip Peete is gone. Let's figure out who else going to be gone. Now, Joe Witt Jr., the time when Dan Quinn had to leave, I think in 2021 due to the C-19, Joe Witt Jr. called pretty decent game, and they allowed Joe Witt Jr. to call some of the defensive calls in preseason. So we'll find out what this team would look like as far as the makeup of the coaching staff. I know a lot of people waiting on, hey, that's good and all, but when will they call for Kellen Moore to leave? Well, I think that the Cowboys front office, they looking back at everything, and they looking at Kellen Moore like, hey, he's our rock. And other teams are probably looking at Kellen Moore saying, you know, you put Zeke at center. So it could be a situation that most of the other teams probably look at Kellen Moore and say, you have the number one offense, but you also have some hiccups here and there. You may want to grow a little bit more, Kellen Moore, on the offensive side of the coin before we give you the ultimate job of being a head coach. That's just my thoughts. Nevertheless, far as the new linebacker coach or whoever we get, it may be a whole different philosophy depending on who will be our next defensive coordinator. One thing I do know for sure, that the Cowboys love, L-O-V-E, to hire from within. But if they go out and grab another guy from the outside, it could be a situation whereas that new defensive coordinator would like to clean house and have his own philosophy and principles. So that's the cons and pros of hiring a coach from the outside versus keeping the coach from the inside. At least if you keep the coach from the inside on the defensive side of the coin, you will keep some of the principles. But I'm going to tell you, losing George Edwards, that's a lot of experiences. So we'll find out down the line. Cowboy Nation, post me who you think should be like the defensive coordinator for this team. Is it Al Harris? Is it Joe Witt Jr.? Because we got to understand that Dan Quinn, he gone, dog. All of these interviews, unless Jerry Jones can do one of those magical phone calls. We'll find out, Cowboy Nation. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. DC for life. Salute.